Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, let's go to Facebook. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let's go. What's going on? What's going on, Facebook? Facebook, man. Listen, we are back tonight for the grand finale of the multifamily boot camp. You guys has been showing so much love, so much support. Man, I'm extremely excited for the night, man. We've done amazing these last 3 nights, man. I'm actually mind blown from the simple fact that you guys has really been tuned in to what we've been doing. You guys have been plugged in every single night, been leaving feedback, been sharing, been getting all of the views up, man, learning about multifamily, why I invest in multifamily, why I'm partnering with experienced operators to go to the next level. Tonight is the finale. Tonight we're going over how to close the deal and asset management. And I got a special guest on tonight, man, that I definitely got a tremendous amount of respect for. But before we get into sharing who this special individual is, for those that don't know who I am, my name is Dominique Williams, aka Mr. Back to the Money, guys. I've been in the music industry over 20 plus years, party promoter, event planning, and also working on marketing and branding throughout those years. I've been in front of the camera all my life. So go ahead and make sure you share this. Make sure you're getting your people on. Make sure that you're tuned in. And like I said, I've owned a trucking company. I've thrown events all over North Carolina. I was also in network marketing. I used to day trade, which I still trade forex. I trade crypto, and I helped over 500 plus investors over the span of 4 years to be able to invest into this. So it's naturally that I gravitate more to the capital raising side of the business and investor relations. And guys, I have a special guest on tonight, man, that's gonna go over asset management, gonna go over a little bit about closing the deal. And this individual mean a lot to me, man, because when I moved to Charlotte, he was the first person I hit up about multifamily. He's a tremendous. He comes with a lot of wealth, man, a lot of knowledge in the space. Helped me look at deals and go over deals. He handled a lot of the asset management. He handled a lot of the acquisitions side of the business. It's my mentor, none other than Mr. Charles Seaman. How you doing, Charles?
Dominique, thanks for the wonderful introduction. It's a blast to be here for day three.
Yes, man. I'm excited to have you, man. Like I said, I wanted to definitely be able to dive into tonight's content. Just a recap of what we went over the last few days. The first day we went over actually how to find deals, how to look for the deals, how to actually fund those deals. Then the next night we went over how to find your partners, how to find investors, and tonight we want to talk about closing the deal and what do we do after we close the deal, which is more of the asset management part of the business. Man, like I said, I thank you for being an awesome mentor and helping me throughout this journey, man, and it's been exciting. So I wanted to get you on to share your expertise about closing the deal, man, and asset management, and anything else you
Sure.
want to share.
Absolutely. So, keep in mind, guys, the finding the deal and the picking the right partners and the right team is very important. When you find the deal and you present it to your investors, that's the excitement stage. You want to get everybody excited about all the things they should be finding attractive about that deal. Now, the asset management side, when you close the deal, is when you have to take that excitement and you have to put that into reality. And that's when the excitement can quickly become realized or it can become a disappointment. And what you want to do as an asset manager is make sure that whatever was projected in that deal is met or exceeded because you want the investors to be happy with you, you want them to be happy with the deal, and ultimately you want to give them a good return so that way they invest what you get in the future. And in addition to doing that, they also tell their friends and their relatives to come invest with you again in the future. So, how do you do that? So, let's talk about asset management. What is asset management? So, asset management is not property management. There are maybe some things that are similar, but ultimately it's different. But as the asset manager, you're the person or team that's responsible for the financial performance of the property. And that means you have to be keeping an eye on the budget. So you have to see what your starting point is. And on an ongoing basis, you have to be tracking the actual performance of that budget. You also need to figure out when something is steering off course. So if something's steering in the wrong direction, you don't want the ship to keep steering in the wrong direction because eventually you may wind up sinking. You want to get back on the right course and you want to figure out what adjustments need to be made so that way you can give the direction that's needed to do that. Now, what is property management? So, property management is the execution of the day to day activities. That's your leasing, your collections, your showing vacant units, your dispatching work orders. So, that's when you're on the ground. You're the person or team that's on the ground actually making the property perform. The asset manager is the one who's strategizing and who's overseeing from the big picture view. And then they're helping the property manager focus on the areas that need to be followed. Okay, so that's kind of a definition of what each of those areas are. So what do you need to be doing as an asset manager? Well, in addition to just monitoring the budget, you want to be speaking with your property management team on a regular basis. At the bare minimum, once per week. And normally what we do is on each of our deals, when we first close, we have an introductory kickoff meeting with the property management company and our team. And then what we do is we establish a recurring date and time that we meet every single week. And the reason we do that is to go over the performance of the property. So during those meetings, you're looking at a lot of the key performance indicators. The main ones that you're really looking at are traffic, how many leads are coming into the property, how many of those leads are submitting applications and actually getting approved and converting? Because, like any sales funnel, you want to make sure that the systems you have in place are functioning properly. And the way you're going to do that is by seeing steady traffic, you're going to see steady conversions, and you're going to see a property with strong occupancy and strong collections. So you want to keep an eye on these things each and every week. Now, there's going to be times where you need to speak with your property manager more than just once a week. So if you're doing a heavy value add, or if you're doing something that's going to be very labor intensive and it's going to require a lot of oversight, you need to be involved with them on an ongoing basis. Sometimes that may be a daily phone call until things really get situated. Last year, our team bought a couple of heavy value add properties and not necessarily heavy in the physical sense, but heavy operational. You know, we knew with some of these properties, we were going to have to evict about a third of the tenant bases. And that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a lot of evictions. It's a lot of unit turns. It's a lot of expenses. And it's money going out faster than it's coming in. So you have to make sure that you're planning it properly and that you're staying ahead of these things by regular communication so you can constantly update and pivot if needed. So in terms of the asset management, so in addition to the KPIs, in addition to just being in contact, you also want to make sure that people are performing and doing the jobs that you hired them. So most times at these properties, you have an on-site manager, you have a maintenance supervisor, and depending on how big of a property it is, you may also have some leasing agents and some additional maintenance personnel. So you have to make sure that everybody's performing and that you're utilizing your resources well. If you're paying a full-time maintenance person and you're still outsourcing a lot of work, then something's wrong there. And you need to step in and figure out what's wrong and figure out how to fix it. So different people have different approaches. There is no one size fits all, but it's just communication and logical reasoning in many cases, and that's going to provide you with oftentimes a favorable result.
Hey, I got a question, Charles, for you.
Yep.
All right, so let's say like that new person that is coming into this. They found a deal. They bought it to some experienced operators. Now they're jumping into asset management. What could they do as a new person? What would their role be? Because I mean, some of this stuff, like I mean, it can really sound intimidating for the new person that just got started, got their deal over the finish lines, closing. Now that the real work starts, and what would their roles be? What could they possibly do? Not having a little knowledge about asset management.
Good question, Dominique. So probably a good starting point, and this will vary based on the size of the deal. If it's a smaller deal, you may not have the team infrastructure for this. But if it's a larger deal, my recommendation would probably be to shadow somebody who's an experienced asset manager the first time out, and just kind of work with them, learn from them, see what they do, and then mimic it. If it's a smaller deal where you don't have that luxury, then what I would say is you want to immediately develop some relationship with the property manager, and you want to make sure that you're in communication on a regular basis. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of people make is they don't give their property management companies clear instructions. So think of it this way. If you're out there driving and you're hoping to get somewhere, but you don't know where it is you're hoping to get to, what are the odds that you get there?
Yeah, it's it ain't looking good.
Right. So if in my head I want the property to perform a certain way, but I don't convey that to the property manager, do they know where I want it to perform?
Mm, no.
So the first thing I would tell anybody, new or experienced, is the single biggest thing in asset management is communication. And you need to make sure that all the players on the team are aware of the goal or goals. And you need to have something that you can do to track those goals on a regular basis. So when you first close the deal, the purpose of that kickoff meeting I was saying, aside from just introductions, is to establish what we want out of the property. And you want to give, for anybody who's heard the acronym SMART goals, specific, measurable, actionable. So you want to give goals that can be measured to your property manager. We want this much in revenue by this date. We want this many units upgraded by this date. So give them clear parameters of what you expect and then work with them to figure out how to achieve those desired results.
That makes a lot of sense. So, with asset management, I know that this is all a part of executing the business plan. Um, like when you are you setting it up for like the next buyer? Because I know I was telling the guys that I'm telling everybody on Facebook that most of the whole time is 3 to 5 years. So you're setting it up uh for to get the returns for your investors. But are you leaving? Because I wonder, like, okay, if you bring it all the way up to stabilization, fix it all the way up, what's left? What do you leave left for the next buyer in 5 years?
It's a good question. So you always want to be thinking ahead. So to Dominique's point, you have to be thinking of the future. If your end goal with the asset is a sale, you want to think what's going to make it most desirable for buyers. So if you want to get a great sale price, the way to do that is to have more people looking at it. And if you have more people looking and more people offering, just like with anything, think of it if you're selling something on eBay and you start the auction at 99 cents, and now all of a sudden it gains steam and you have, 34 bids. Well, now the price is went to some crazy number. And it's kind of the same concept here. So if you go in there and you do everything that there is to do, that's going to leave you with a smaller buyer pool. Why? Because many people are trained to go out there and find value add assets. So they like seeing that there's some meat on the bone, as Dominique's saying. So if you want a bigger buyer pool, it makes sense to leave some meat on the bone so the next guy has something to feel excited about. It's good for you to feel excited when you're buying it, but you want them to feel just as excited, if not more, when they're buying it, so that way they give you a great price.
That makes a lot of sense, man. That definitely makes a lot of sense. I definitely appreciate the feedback. from that. Is there like any other tips, anything you want to like share? I mean, just anything about multifamily, because a lot of my viewers, they're new. I have some passive investors that's interested in investing. You know, they want to get more educated in what we do and, you know, taking the deal across the finish line. So, anything that you want to share, that'll, you know, be helpful for, the listeners.
Totally. So one thing I would say that I find to work well in experience is that even though multifamily is a team sport, you need somebody who's calling the shots. So if everybody's calling the shots, you're going to have a lot of different opinions in a lot of different directions. Make sure that one person on the team is tasked with the responsibility of making those decisions. And I'm not talking about big decisions like selling or refinancing a property, but overseeing day-to-day operations and managing the manager. You really need somebody who's that liaison between the team and them, and that way there's a clear, consistent direction going from that person to the property management team.
And that makes a lot of sense, man. I definitely appreciate you, man, for you know sharing your expertise, coming in and you know just taking time out to you know speak, man. This has been a definitely a big move for me, man. A lot of my people has been asking, you know, man, I want to learn about what you're doing. And guys, if you've been seeing me, I've learned a lot from this man here, since I met him last February when I moved here. He met we met like within 6 days of me being here, man. I asked him to mentor me. Started a mentorship program, man, and it's been up ever since. So I definitely owe him a lot, man, and thank him, man. Got the heart of gold, and Charles, I definitely thank you, man, for just you know stopping by and sharing your expertise to our audience, man.
Dominic, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But like I said, if you got anything else you want to share, man, that's fine. If not, man, I'm gonna definitely, you know, just wrap it up and you know, talk a little bit about what I'm doing as far as the next step. So, anything else you want
Excellent.
to share? Are you
Well,
good?
I think that's all the nuggets for now, but I thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. But let's see, cause I think before I hit stop. So this make sure this thing is absolutely recording all the way through, which I'll be able to cut all of this up and chop it up before you hop off, because I don't want to lose none of the files. But hey guys, like I said, man, I'm not gonna hold you guys long, man. I just wanted to hop on for part three, talking about asset management, talking about you know taking that deal across the finish line. Like I said, I had a special guest, my mentor, Mr. Charles Seaman, come through to drop some gems on you guys. Um, Listen, if you want to connect, my website is launching tomorrow. Make sure that you check it out. We're helping people build their brand. We're helping investors to be able to invest their capital. We're already looking at deals. We put in an LOI on a deal the other day. I'm excited about that. You know, just to get the experience and really see how things are going, man. I'm excited for 2023. So if you guys are actually, you know, interested in investing, you want to connect with me, let's hop on a phone call. Like I said, my new website will be up tomorrow. You guys can go in, get on my calendar, and we can book a call and you know build that relationship. You know, we already got a pre-existing relationship. You can definitely get in on the next deal. But if we haven't, let's go ahead and establish that a relationship so that we can win together in 2023. Like I said, check out my new website. Check out my Brand Me Up, where we helping you guys build your business and grow your business. We got logos. We doing websites. We putting systems and processes together. Email marketing for capital raisers. Video, reel editing, thumbnails, and all of the works, guys. Like I said, you're going to be able to contact me at harvestseasoninvestmentgroup.com. Also, before Mr. Charles get off, you can get his contacts. Charles, you like to share any of your contact information or how to get in touch with you?
Yeah, totally. Is there a chat box in there? Otherwise, I'll just say it verbally.
Well, yeah, it's verbal unless we put it on Facebook because I'm on Facebook. So yeah, you might say it verbally, and I just go add everything later.
Totally. So go to Linktree/Charles_Seaman, Seaman, and that'll have all my social media links in one spot.
Great, 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 man. Well, I appreciate you guys for coming. Tonight was an amazing night, and I'm looking forward to helping you guys on your short and long term goals. Peace out.